All right, good morning everyone. Just to start off here, I want to take us back to earlier this year where everything kind of got started for me, specifically going back to spring break. While everyone's going home or going on vacation with friends and family, I got an unfortunate call from my mom to find out that someone really close to us had ended up in the hospital. Little did I know, most of my spring break was going to be spent at a hospital bed with this individual waiting to wake up. Later we found out that it was that she was struggling with her mental health, and major depression is a problem that runs very prevalent in my family, so it's something that I've seen a lot growing up. And in that moment, I had already kind of considered personal training. I already had my certification. But now I was thinking about, okay, I have to do something about this. Mental health is a really big growing problem in America, and I didn't want anyone else to have to go through what this person had been going through and what my family had to go through with that. So that's why I bring you Collin's coaching today. So looking exactly at the problem, first off, 75% of Americans aren't getting the physical activity that they need. The CDC puts out guidelines for this as 150 minutes of moderate to vigorous physical activity a week, and then training each major muscle group twice a week. And then on top of that, people under the age of 35 have become what are known as digital natives. That being that most of their life takes place on the internet, and so when everything we do takes place on the internet, it's a little bit harder to create an active lifestyle. And this has become even more prevalent even outside of people under the age of 35 since COVID. Then going to the mental health piece, 1 in 5 Americans suffer with some form of mental health illness, with 1 in 3 specifically in young adults aged 18 to 25. And why exercise? There are studies showing that exercise can reduce the amount of poor mental health days in a month by 40%. So what exactly does my solution look like? It's meeting people where they are. Digital natives are spending most of their time on the internet, so my online coaching is going to be going straight to the consumer. And then not just focusing on the physical aspect of training, as most usually think of, but I also want to incorporate the mental side of things as well as the nutritional. And then finding a package that meets everyone's needs. So the value that I'm proposing today is personal training that makes it easier to connect to that digital native where their primary life experience is online. So what exactly are the advantages of personal training, and more specifically online personal training? Going to almost any trainer, you're going to get an online or a personalized program. Some commercial trainers are going to give you like a cookie cutter program. So just kind of hammering in with the personalized programs. And then something that you get more so with online personal training as opposed to something in person is the convenience and flexibility of being able to do what you need, where you want it, whether that's at home or at a gym, or if it's at a hotel while you're traveling. And then the expert guidance and accountability is the extra piece that I'm offering, since a lot of people, the problem is that they don't know what they're doing and need to be shown the way just a little bit. So how exactly am I planning to do this? It's really simple to start off. Currently working on a website, and so once you get onto that website, you can set up an initial interview as well as filling out a questionnaire, which will then be sent to me. And after completing that initial interview, I can get you a personalized program within the 24 hours after having that conversation with you. After which point, you'll get access to a personalized program, weekly check-ins, educational resources, as well as open communication with me as you need. And then going forward from that point, weekly and monthly progress updates. I like the form of putting things in graphs so you can really see how you've progressed. And then program adjustments as your goals are changing. Currently, I'm operating on a monthly subscription. Still working out exactly what I want the premium option to look like, but right now I'm expecting that to be everything that was shown in the last slide, as well as just more catered to people who are constantly on the move and need to have a program for multiple locations that they might be in. Specifically, the target markets I'm looking at are avid travelers, health-conscious individuals, as well as those just looking to lose a little bit of weight, since that's what most people take a trainer on for. Looking at the market, it's a big industry, and it's been on the slow uptrend these last few years, and it's expected to continue in that direction. As far as my team, right now it's just myself. I got my certification in November, and I'm currently an exercise science major here at the University of Iowa, and plan to graduate next spring. And so with it just being me right now, I'm not the greatest marketer, and not a huge, don't have a huge footprint on social media. So that's something I'm looking to improve on, and so in the future hoping to get that on my team, as well as dietitians and extra trainers so that I can reach more people. As far as financial projections, right now I've got the value of my customer set at roughly $2,250 for the year, and then break-even point is looking at right around $11,000. So just after only having 5 clients, I already break that. As far as my current objectives, I'm right now bringing on my initial clients. I'm doing beta testing right now, so if I can get about 10 to 15 people there to kind of build up my reputation. And then in the short term, building out my socials, since that's my main way of connecting with clients, or taking on clients. And then long term, bringing on more trainers to, again, be able to reach more people. So thank you. The website isn't up just yet, but I'll be open to any questions now. Yes?
What's the format of the training? Is it like pre-recorded video?
Right. So the way I'm planning on operating is I get you your program, we work together to find what works for you, what kind of stuff you like, what you don't like. But then it's just you going and doing it, and then we kind of talk through what you need changed. The best way I can think to explain it is if you go to a therapist, you talk through what you're struggling with, and then they send you out with the tools that you need to solve those problems, and you check in as you go along.
How do you keep people engaged?
Yep, so that's something that I have been trying to figure out, because the online piece is going to be much more difficult as opposed to having an in-person trainer to hold you accountable and bring you in. So my current plan is to find a way to build a community. So I brought a website that I'm currently building. The plan is to have like community goals or objectives, so kind of for the people who work well competing against each other, they can kind of use that to balance motivation off of one another, but then also using personal goals and trying to find a way to put a number to that so that you can see yourself constantly progressing.
Because I know with a lot of, oftentimes people that suffer from depression especially, they think about it and they think about it constantly.
Yep.
But they just can't do it. Like there's something debilitating about it. And once they do, they feel great. They're like, I need to keep doing this. So like tapping into that, and that's kind of the magic bullet I think for therapy, exercise, all the things. But just having that component. And I think a personal connection, whether it be you or an ambassador of sorts, might be helpful for that target market, if that's why they're doing it.
Yep, and that's the thing that I really want to hammer in on is I want to keep a connection with the client. I don't want to just become that person who sits back in the background, I give you what you need, and I really don't care what happens next. I'd rather focus on the quality of relationships between my clients as opposed to just taking on as many as I possibly can.
You touched on this, I think, when you were talking with Aaron, but what are your thoughts about how you are going to be able to measure success
Right.
or progress for your customers or clients, or, and demonstrate that to others?
Are you saying for the business as a whole or the individual?
For the individual.
Okay, so what I'm mostly thinking about right now is we work together. I'll have them send me their, we'll call it stats, each time that they're working out, and whether that looks like progress pictures, if they're looking to lose weight, you know, measuring that. So it's a really interesting dynamic. Women specifically, the way that their body works when they're losing weight, it's a lot harder to see, and so it's better to actually measure circumference of different points on their body as opposed to just going by the weight on the scale. So there's different ways that you want to go about that. I'm not doing a very great job of articulating it right now, but so going by that, and for me personally, I like the idea of being able to see it on a graph, and so that's one way I'm planning to do it. And then as far as like the long term, being able to show things is, I would say, just showing side by side pictures.
Would you have like an onboarding process for where you kind of bring everyone together so that there's a level of connection with new clients and everybody does a weigh-in or measurement or something like that, and you can kind of talk about the goals of the program, although it's customized, kind of the general, I don't know.
Are you saying just me and the one person, or me and like having everyone?
I think that it would be interesting, like there's a one-on-one element. I personally get more energized by knowing that there are other people, and if I have more than my trainer who's telling me what to do, then I've got an accountability partners that are like, oh, we're doing this together, and it just feels like, okay, if I lose motivation, I can call you and we can keep each other going.
So I hadn't really thought about using that as an onboarding strategy. I've more so been trying to figure out how to make that work after getting them brought on, but I like that idea. Yep.
Your demographics felt pretty broad to me. So like, who's your ideal target market? Who do you imagine is really going to be utilizing this the most? What's that demographic look like?
Yeah, so obviously the person I really want to help are the people struggling with their mental health. But on the other hand of that, the people able to pay for this are like the average traveler who's got a bit of extra spending money. So it is really just trying to be a balance of those people who are health conscious in their 30s, 40s. And what I want to be able to do, and I didn't bring this up in my slides, but I'm hoping to do a model where for every 5 clients I bring on, paying clients I bring on, I reach out to a student in need and basically give them like a scholarship program so they don't have to worry about paying for it. And so in that sense, that's kind of where my story caters to that audience, whereas otherwise my general audience is just that like 30 to 40-year-old looking to be a little bit healthier. Yeah.
I couldn't miss this, but are members going to have like a profile page on your website where they can go, or are you going to send it over email, or how will they access those workouts?
So this is something I am sort of having like a mini pivot on right now. I recently found out there's this thing called the Superset app, which a lot of independent trainers use, and it has everything that they need from onboarding to direct messaging with their clients, your ability to put their program in there. And so that's pretty much what I had planned on doing. So now I'm kind of thinking about using the website space as that community aspect.
So those costs you mentioned to break even, is that mainly the cost for that Superset app or?
So it's between that and the marketing,
Okay.
because I kind of plan on using ads just on social media, as well as a few other expenses that were kind of like little miscellaneous things.
I see. Sounds good.
Everfit is another good one.
I think I heard about that.
Yeah.
I haven't looked into it, but yeah.
That's what my trainer uses, and like Collin.
Okay.
How are you thinking about scalability? And what I mean by that is you mentioned having like one-on-one direct messaging with your clients and stuff. And I don't know how many clients a regular personal trainer has, but it feels like once you're more than even like 50 or 100 clients, it probably gets out of hand. So how big do you see this getting, or how many clients do you see this having at its peak?
Yep, so this could be wishful thinking, but I'm thinking capping out at about 80 clients. And for this setup, scaling is definitely difficult. Originally, I thought about just bringing on more trainers, but since I found out about this Superset app, there really isn't much that I'm offering for other trainers to come on, since they can just use that and be independent themselves. So right now, and this is more of a fresh thought over the last couple of days, but having them continue to use their own setup that they've got, but then using the community aspect, they can bring their clients to my website and basically combine their community of clients with my community as well as any other trainers. And so that's really the only way that I've thought of scaling this. I don't have the financial model for that yet. Otherwise, at this point, that's kind of what I've got as far as scaling goes.
But if you create, a program that really works and marketing that works and your name grows, then you do have something to offer trainers. So kind of arguing like the other side of that, you would eventually have something to offer that they would benefit from working for you. So, hire could be an option down the road.
Okay.
Yeah, and building on that, I think finding an existing service like Superset, it's a great opportunity for you to really focus on what your value is.
Yeah.
What really is your unique value? Because the mechanics of billing and all that stuff, there's going to be some solution out there, and you should leverage those and find them. But use it as an opportunity to really think through what you're doing, which is great, and what's the unique value. And maybe you do get to a point where, to your point, you have to build your own because the unique value that you offer isn't offered in Superset or something like that. But leverage those things to find, where you're really significantly different.
Right, and so I haven't been familiar with Superset long enough yet to figure out where their problems are, but yeah, so hopefully eventually after using it a little bit, I can see where I can optimize.
Right, great.
Other questions? If there are no other questions, I'll ask our traditional final question. What can we as a community do to help you?
So, as I said, I'm currently bringing on beta testers right now. I'm just trying to build on my clientele. I've got 5 people right now. I'm looking to fill out 10 more spots. So if there's anyone that you know who could take advantage of something like this, just let me know.
Excellent. Let's give Collin a hand.